It's noon sharp. Thank you. Uh, Noon 30 sharp. Thank you for coming here to hear what we have to present you. I'm going to introduce my colleague Julia Matamoros, who's going to be the first one to make her presentation. She comes from all the way from Canada. She's been working in Canada since a long way back. She is a cultural manager. She's been working with many organizations and different museums. She's now working in the Institute for Canadian Citizenship, where she's leading a very interesting project, Canoo, which is an inclusion project that she's working with different cultural institutions from Canada and the new citizens from Canada. So let's hear it for her. Well, hello everyone. Welcome. My name is Julia Matamoros, and I work at the Institute for Canadian Citizenship. It's based in Toronto, but it works nationally throughout Canada with projects and programs to create linkage between people and groups to promote active citizenship and to create inclusion. One of them is Canoo, and I'm going to tell you about this. But before we continue, you all have a piece of paper. We have 3 questions. I would like for you to think about it, and I would like to know your answers. What are we talking about when we talk about active citizenship? What is it that you know, or what comes to your mind? The reason I'm asking you this is because I know that everyone has a different answer for this, and there are different ways of expressing active citizenship. One of them is participation in art and culture, and we believe that this is very important because this is a way of including people. We know that if they are involved, they are participating in art and culture, they are more connected to the place they are at. And the next question is, who do we want to include? I would like for you to respond on your piece of paper. When you talk about inclusion, what do you think about? Well, once again, it varies depending on the place. In the context of Canada, we're talking about the inclusion of new citizens. And why? Because Canada is a country of migrants. And just to give you an example, in 2018, we received about 300,000 immigrants. We have different programs and services, but we know that our work never is not done when our status changed, or someone's status changed to a citizen. And we can promote that more and create inclusion, particularly when we talk about creating space to contribute. How do we do this? With a mobile app that is called Canoo. And what is Canoo? Canoo is a program, and the membership goes through an app. Everything is done through an app. Is exactly one full year after they get their citizenship. It finishes a year after. 1,400 places throughout Canada with free admission, with parks and museums, and also shows through email. This is, as I told you, something that lasts a year, completely free, unlimited, and it's for one new citizen and 4 minors. The idea is for these people to be connected to their country through the places that they are visiting, and everything that they learn connecting through Canada through their art and culture to promote participation and to create a sense of belonging. So, Canoo is actually a new version of a program that we have been developing for 10 years. It was called Cultural Access Pass. It was very successful, but we ran into 2 issues. One of them is that the membership was a paper card, and a lot of people would register but would not pick that up, so it wasn't easily accessible. And the second one is that we had no way to measure our impact. We knew who would register, but once they registered, we didn't know what they would do in that 1-year window and how they would relate to cultural institutions. So we decided to turn that into an app, a mobile app, to solve this problem. But at the same time, this created very interesting opportunities with this format. One of them is, of course, to to be able to know how people are participating, but also to use that as a source of information. If you live in Toronto, you can also know through your app there is an incredible museum. In Vancouver, you're learning about your country, and we hope creating a connection with the place you live. And also to see the visits once again, and to have a room to hear about the visitors, for them not to be passive, but to have a communication channel so that they can give feedback to the cultural institutions they are visiting. So just to give you a few examples of what we have been seeing, it was launched in May 1st. It's been running for 7 months, and we saw our registers doubling. We have usually have 50,000 participants in average since we launched the app. It's been doubled. So for May 1st next year, we're going to be having 100,000 participants, a very significant group. We would like to know what they think, how they are participating, and how they relate to the cultural sector in Canada. We have registered 36,000, a little bit more than it says there, in visits tracked. We never had this kind of numbers before, and we also measure how they explore and interact with the app. We have 9,000 registrations, and now we know that 30% of our visits come from minors under 18 years of age. As I told you, it's 1 citizen and 4 minors, and the minors were invisibilized, and we know they are a third of our visitors. Another part of this project that I want to tell you about, which I believe is interesting for this conference, is that this project is completely collaborative. There is no money exchange. Each cultural institution offers this for free for the audience. They just have to verify that they are members with the card and now with the app. And they are also developing their audience. As I told you, 100,000 in a year is a lot. And diversifying, because we have a problem with diversity in Canada, and we have to change that a little bit. And Canoo is a mobile app. Now we're working closer and closer. We have no way of capturing those visits. And what we did is that each collaborator, each institution, 425 in total, a very diverse network. In Canada, each one has a unique code, and they have to provide it to their visitors. And that creates a digital card with which we can track the visit. But it is the same system that allows us for each visitor to rate their visit after they leave. And we did it very simple, so people could answer easily. It's 1 to 5. It's very low. We want to know why. If it's very high, we want to know why. It's subdivided in 5 basic components: accessibility. Was it easy to reach? Client service. Were you welcome? Quality content quality, availability of information, and signage. So the most interesting part of this is that for the first time we're going to be able to grab this feedback, provide it to the institutions, and go beyond simply diversifying our audiences, develop this, and turn this into a dialogue for a more inclusive sector overall. I'm here. If you have any questions, we can continue talking. Thank you very much.